Yo, 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 what is up, guys? Good afternoon. Make sure the audio is good. Should be good. Good afternoon, guys. What is up? Obviously, we are here to chat about Backlash. That was yesterday evening. It was a pretty early show. It was actually really great. Started at what, 6 p.m., ended at what, like 8:45, just shy of 9 p.m. on the East Coast. So it was great. Very, very big fan of the, first of all, as you guys know, Saturday PLEs, whether it's WWE, AEW. I think they should do whatever they can to have a Saturday show because it's just easier, right? Especially if you're traveling and everything. Well, and besides the big shows, right, that have two nights, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, stuff like that. But if it's just a PLE like Backlash, sticking with WWE, I don't see why, unless it's like a scheduling thing, why they can't always do a Saturday show. It's, like I said, easier if you are traveling into that area. Obviously, you can fly in maybe that Friday evening, sometime Friday, or worst case, depending on your schedule, Saturday morning. It's kind of risky, but do what you got to do, right? And my friend Dan, he sometimes flies in the morning or the afternoon of, goes to the show, and then flies back like the next morning. It's amazing. He's like a wizard at traveling. So shout out to him. But yeah, so you're able to fly back on Sunday and then start work on Monday. So I hope they keep that trend up with Saturday shows. And one of the bright sides with being partnered with UFC under the TKO umbrella is they will be mindful of the UFC shows, right? So if WWE and UFC have a show on the same night, it's looking like they being WWE, will do what they can to get done prior to the UFC show starting. So again, there's a lot of cons, no pun intended, that we can say about the partnership, right? And the new direction, the umbrella, stuff like that. But my opinion, we lucked out last night because it was so nice to have a show in right before 9 o'clock and start at 6 p.m. It was great. So props to them for that. But yeah, so obviously we're going to go over the show as a whole here. Not going to do move by move or anything like that because you guys know me. I don't really break it down like that unless, someone, we need to or whatever, unless there's like a specific point in the match. But we'll obviously, trying to grab my shoe here, sorry. We'll obviously go over the card in its entirety. Of course, the big talking points. The mystery partner for Danhausen, which I was completely wrong on. So yeah, we'll get into all that. But thank you guys for popping in, whether you're joining live now or if you're watching on replay. I appreciate you guys. Oh gosh, I almost ended the stream. That would have sucked. I was going to bring the comments up. That would have been terrible. But what up, Jesse? What up, Muhammad? What up, Michael? What up, guys? I appreciate you popping in now. But like I said, yeah, if you're watching live or on replay, I appreciate you for popping in. There are a shit ton of wrestling review shows out there. So I appreciate you guys keeping me in your lineup, man. I really do. There's a lot that is going on in the wrestling world. So appreciate you guys for being here. But yeah, we're not going to waste too much time, obviously, and it's probably not going to be too long of a stream just because it wasn't too long of a show, which again, I'm a fan of. I haven't listened to any full review shows because I like to try to keep my mind, on my own thoughts and then kind of get it off my chest here with you guys, and then I'll go back and listen to other shows. But I did see on Twitter that some people were complaining about there only being five matches on the card. It's nothing new though, right? Like to me, like I was kind of surprised by that being one of the negative critiques, like going around out there. Now, I will say, with the new, I guess, distribution that they have for the show, where you get the first two matches free if you're watching via ESPN, whatever. I don't know what the fuck, whatever ESPN shit that they're airing on. I think it's like ESPN Unlimited or something. I don't know. But you get the first two matches free on that, and then of course the remainder are on the app they have to pay for. But yeah, so in that regard, when you think and when you break it down, right, it's what, like $30 for the ESPN Unlimited app, and I think it's like a monthly subscription. So when you break it down, you got to think, okay, so you essentially pay $10 per match on the main, well, not the main card, but on the show that was under that PLE like paywall, we'll call it, portion of the show. Which, I mean, fuck, the Io Sky and Asuka match, that was worth like your whole subscription in and of itself there. The main event was very well done, in my opinion, which obviously we're going to be getting to all that. And then Danhausen, like it is what it is. The Danhausen segment match is one of those portions of wrestling in general where if you're a fan of it or you don't mind it, it's it's entertaining and it is what it is. You know what I mean? But if you are on the camp that you despise that shit and has no place in wrestling and it's cringe, whatever, then you would be probably infuriated, right? Or I can see why you would be on the camp of, okay, we only get 5 matches, 3 on the portion that I'm paying for, and really? This, like, I don't know. So I can see where people are coming from in that regard. But dude, like 5 matches, the overall show flowed so much better than both nights of WrestleMania, especially night 1, right? But I think they really did make an effort to be cognizant of the flow of the show, but also of the amount of ads. I mean, there still were a good amount, but nowhere near as bad as WrestleMania. At least in my opinion, it didn't feel. And again, I was watching on Netflix, so just disclaimer there. So obviously, it is going to be different depending on how you're watching it, but I think they did make an effort, at least, to give credit where credit is due, to try to have the overall show not feel like just one big, hey, buy this series. You know what I mean? So I will give them a little bit of credit for that, but it is still a work in progress, obviously, because they still got that. And I mean, I know we should be used to it by now, but just still something about all the logos all over the ring mat, man. I don't know. It just kind of gets me. So I don't know. That's just kind of my thoughts on that, but I got to give credit where credit's due, at least. You know what I mean? But getting into the show itself here. What up, King? What up? What up? What up, Alex? So what was your rating of last night's show out of 10? It's a good question, man. Probably like a 6. I was gonna say maybe a 6.5, but I would probably say maybe a 6.5. Yeah, maybe even a 7 because the Asuka match and the main event were so good. I mean, shit, Rollins and Breaker was a pretty good match as well. It had some moments, but it was a pretty good match also. So I'll go a 7. Actually, now that I kind of think about it a little bit more, I'd probably go a 7. Yeah, as I talk through the show here, maybe that'll change, but right now 7. But what about you guys? What about you guys? And if you're watching on YouTube and if you're watching live, there is a poll in the chat, so feel free to pull that up and vote in that if you would like. That is regarding John Cena's announcement, which obviously we will be getting to. But yeah, that's probably why my grade isn't a little bit higher. So yeah, we'll get into it. But of course, the show itself was held in Tampa, Florida, May 9th, 2026. It's crazy we're in May already. The arena, I believe they said during the show it was sold out. I'm going off of ProWrestling.net. Jason Powell, shout out to him, and ProWrestling.net in general. But I'm going off of his transcription here. And he mentions that WrestleTix, and shout out to WrestleTix, they're phenomenal. But they listed the venue as being set up for 14,972 with 14,633 distributed. So just shy, right, of a sellout. So I mean, fuck, they have rounded up in worse ways before, so we can give them that. But yeah, it was interesting though having Cena come back here. I'm not going to get into it, but one of my thoughts was during the Cena segment and just thinking of the Tampa venue itself, that was the venue for Saturday night's main event, where it was supposed to be Cena's last. Well, it was Cena's last match in Tampa, but I remember like them mentioning like it was like Cena's last appearance. I don't know, but maybe I could be wrong with that. But I was just like, damn, and maybe it has. I think actually, it doesn't have the date on it, but maybe it has been a full year or close to a year, because I think Saturday night's main event for Tampa when he fought R-Truth was in May. I don't have. I had memorabilia. I don't have any of it out that has the date, but yeah. So it's just interesting that he was back for. I don't know. Just and again, even though it was just an announcement, but it's just like I don't know. I don't know. It's just kind of funny to me. But yeah, so damn near a sellout to them or sellout for them. So props to them for that. You know, it's like I said, the ticket prices were pretty pricey. So the people out there paid a pretty penny. So props to them. More so. But the first match, of course, was Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker. Like I said earlier, the match had a couple of spots where I don't know if miscommunication, but it was just a little off. But man, Rollins is such a pro, man. Like, of course, it's nothing new, right? But the dude is just he makes all his matches look so seamless, right? Even when shit goes wrong or if there's a clunky spot or anything like that, he's able to save it and able to like transition. So I don't know, props to him because it's I'm sure not an easy feat, especially when you're in front of thousands of people live and you know millions of people are watching around the world. You know, it not to sound cliche or whatever, but it's the truth. So props to him for that. But Breaker, of course, Breaker ended up getting the pin here. I'm very curious to see what ends up happening with him over the next even year, right? The next I was gonna say 2 years, but we can even go with the next year. Shit, even going into next year's WrestleMania, because I would say a year ago he was more of the shiny new toy, right? But now, dude, we especially with like the likes of Obafemi, Trick Williams, who am I forgetting? Those, I mean, just the two that stand out, but especially Oba, right? And being on the Raw side with Breaker, I'm really curious to see if Breaker ends up being not in the shadows or like I don't want to say like in second place or anything like that, but not as much of a priority as an Obafemi will be, or maybe even a Trick Williams, right? Going into we'll just call it WrestleMania of next year. So I'm really curious to see if Breaker is going to be flirting with the world title scene on Raw going into Mania. Shit, what even happens going into the Rumble, right? Um, but yeah, it's just I don't know, man. And obviously like nothing has really been obvious in the point of WWE like being down on him or anything like that. I mean, he got injured and shit happens, right? It is what it is. And he came back hot, you know, he's still just like a freak of nature, maybe pun intended, right, with his family. But it's just like I just have like an interesting feeling. Like I think too it's gonna be very key to see what they do after this feud with Rollins, because I did watch the I don't even know what they call it now, like the after show, whatever, like press conference, like interviews. I don't even know what they call it. For like the panels, like Biggie, Peter Rosenberg. I forget the woman's name. I forget who. Maybe was it Jackie? I don't know if it was Jackie up there. Fuck, I forget the third. There was like four people up there, I believe. Obviously Biggie and Peter Rosenberg are the two that stand out to me the most. But Seth was one of the wrestlers that went there and kind of chatted about the match, what happened, and it's a very interesting setup too, because it's not like they're going and like speaking like out of kayfabe, right, or anything like that. But it is a very more realistic vibe and setting for the character. So it's really interesting. And I kind of dig this setup better than what they were doing with like the media scrums where they had whomever go out there and ask them like bullshit questions and whatever. I like that you had people like Biggie, Peter Rosenberg, like he is involved with WWE obviously enough in the regular media world. Like, of course not like journalism or anything like that. Well, maybe he did. I know he went to college. Maybe he does have a journalism degree. I don't want to be like downgrade him. I'm saying he's not like a reporter, right? Like he doesn't work for like a newspaper or anything like that. But he does like the morning show with Ebro and Laura. I forget her last name, but for like hip hop and stuff like that. So he's actually pretty diverse. So whatever, that's not the point. But I just like the setup and the vibe that it gives. But the point of this is Rollins. They obviously, we're talking about the fact that he took the L here and what are his plans going forward, and how does he really recover from this loss? And he said, he is getting older and he does question, especially after he pretty much like rushed back to get to Mania. He lost at Mania, now he's losing tonight. He does kind of wonder, is it almost his time to hang up the boots, as they say, and to call it a day? The fans obviously started chanting, you still got it or whatever. He said that was really encouraging to him. And he feels it and he believes it too. And his mission is to be the one who ends the vision and then to go after the heavyweight championship. He actually mentioned that first. He needs, that the fact that he needs to regain the title that he never lost. And then, but he can't do that until he wraps it up with the vision. So that is the plans for Rollins. So it looks like we're going to run this back and continue with this going forward. I don't know, man. I don't want it to be one of those where Breaker gets a win, then Rollins gets a win, and then, like, especially if we move on from that. But I don't know. Like, I'd be good with Breaker getting the victory here and Seth just not being able to get the upper hand. I don't know. But it does make sense that he needs the division because the division just really has no purpose now, right? So I don't know. It's just like a weird conundrum that they're in with all that. But I do feel like we are going to obviously get this match ran right back. Someone said that we have a Saturday night's main event prior to Clash in Italy. I meant to pull that up. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, yeah, so that is May 23rd. Right? Yeah. Okay, so that's May 23rd. And then Clash in Italy. Damn, a week later. I don't know why they do shit like that. Whatever. But yeah, so they have Saturday night's main event coming up in 2-ish weeks, just shy of 2 weeks, and then about 3 weeks out from today, 3-ish weeks, we have the Clash in Italy. So we'll probably get the rematch for Breaker and Rollins at probably the Saturday night's main event show, if not Clash in Italy. And then I would imagine they would wrap it up because I mean I feel like we've been like doing this shit for forever now. So I just really kind of want to wrap this up and move on for all of their sakes. But as I was saying yesterday, I still feel like it's too early for any type of Rollins and Reigns interaction for obviously the heavyweight championship. So I don't know if I would imagine that's going to be the goal at WrestleMania if that is the plans for Reigns, because I just like my early predictions right now would be we'll probably get Cody and Punk for the universe. Well, is it still? I'm not blanking on that, but for the WWE Championship essentially, and Reigns versus Rollins for the Heavyweight Championship. That's like my early thoughts right now. Of course, like we still have Randy Orton to throw in there and whatever. It's so interesting, like Randy's character, but that's a topic for a different day. So I don't really see them doing anything with Rollins and Reigns right now, but just the little seeds that Rollins has been dropping. They did have that face to face a few weeks ago. So yeah, behind the scenes before Rollins went out. So yeah, it's only a matter of time, and I'm thinking that's probably going to be the Mania route, which is kind of upsetting because I would possibly love to see that here. But shit, like I said, with the ticket prices nowadays, I mean, it probably doesn't even matter where it's at this point. But yeah. What up, Xavier? What up, Xavier Martinez? You said the unfortunate thing with the long ad breaks and small cards is that we used to get backstage promos, pre-tapes, and cuts to the analysts to fill in all this new ad time. Very good point, dude. Very good point. And that is true. That is a loss that WWE has taken with the ads, especially the backstage promos, man. Like that shit really I don't know why I just like flashback to Sunday Night Heat, but like, dude, they got me, man. They got little Ashley. Like, I don't know. People probably like talk shit, like, oh, like Sunday Night Heat doesn't work and like doesn't sell any pay per views or anything. It did for me, man. Especially No Mercy, 2001, I think it was. There was just this backstage promo that The Rock did, and maybe it was 2000. It was him versus Kurt Angle. Now I'm blinking, and I gotta pull that up because now I feel like, when you say shit and like when you're thinking about it, it feels right, and then as you say it, it's like, wait, is that right? I'm pretty certain that is. Yeah, 2000. Yep. So there was just something about that Sunday Night Heat that just really got me, and it was the promo segments, and like I said, there was some backstage interview that The Rock had did, and I got FOMO, dude. I was like, fuck, I really gotta watch. I mean, obviously I didn't say fuck, but I was like, I really gotta watch this. And yeah, thankfully my grandma ended up buying it for me. I was, just thinking about all this shit that all the overpriced shit that people had paid for in the past, like $40-50 for like one pay-per-view when their cable bill was like $250 already. It's just insane. But that's a different, topic for a different day. But the promo segments, dude, the backstage interviews, just the recap videos itself, like it really helps catch you up if you haven't been watching weekly. It really helps drive home the direction that WWE wants you to take with certain wrestlers or certain characters too. You kind of get a glimpse of how they position them and how they view them, right? And kind of how they want you to view them. So I think all that is very important. And side note, I know you didn't mention this, but I think the lack of stage setups and the special designs that they used to have for each pay-per-view back in the day, I think really hurts the overall vibe and just special feeling that you are at a unique show. Props to AEW. What was it, like Fairway to Hell or some shit? I don't know. I'm gonna go back and watch it now, and solely because the venue and the setup that they had looked dope as fuck. Like I have no idea, to be honest. Like I haven't watched AEW this week, so I have no idea what the why they're at the venue that they're at or what the story is behind it. But seeing clips of it on Twitter made me be like, oh shit, like that's really cool. Like I want to see how it looks on TV. I just want to see the whole show now. So, and again, once I turn it on, it could be shit, but the whole point of that is just seeing a visual glimpse of this setup hooked me. So the fact that WWE doesn't do that anymore, shit, they don't even. I mean, they never really did this, and again, people talk a lot of shit about Eric Bischoff, but props to him for being daring and, you know, like just taking chances. But I love when he would have shows like on the beach, right? Or just shows at that motorcycle rally. I don't know the name of it, but it's like a big motorcycle show or whatever. I forget the name of it because I listened to a podcast that he did on it a couple of years ago. But whatever. Like that. Like I don't understand why wrestling doesn't take advantage of that. They have a unique advantage of being a sport that doesn't have to be on a court, a field, just in general. Like you don't have to be in a specific place necessarily to do it, right? I mean, obviously you need a certain amount of space, but you don't need to be like on a basketball court, for instance, right? Like you don't need to have like a certain platform or like hoops or anything like that. You just need a certain amount of square footage to be able to set up the ring itself. Obviously, seating for the fans, right? And of course, all the essentials and, you know, the stage and all that. But I just never understood why WWE never took advantage of that. Maybe it's like a liability thing. I don't know. But I'm glad that AEW did last night. And I hope that they do more going forward. Especially like when they do like the theme shows, like the beach shows. Like, dude, like their home base is in Jacksonville. Like do some shit on the beach. Like I don't know. It just kills me, man. It just kills me. But yeah, so props to AEW for that. But yeah, who is that again? Xavier, yeah, Xavier. You sparked a little tangent there, so sorry about that, guys. But yeah, man, it just really grinds my gears that they just don't take advantage of it. Like the visual aspect of it, especially like WWE is so like they want to go viral and they want people to like, you know, like talk about them and shit. Dude, if you have a cool setup, people are gonna talk about that shit and they're gonna want to be there. Like I would make more of an effort and be more willing to pay a little bit higher of a ticket price if it's a cool like location and a cool vibe. You know what I mean? So just food for thought. Hog Wild in WCW. Yeah, Xavier. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Hell yeah. That's exactly what it was. Sturgis. Yeah. Dogtown. Oh, yeah. Hey, Dogtown. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you guys. That's why I love doing live shows because y'all help me remember shit. But yeah, exactly. But that's exactly it, dude. So I don't know. But yeah, Dogtown, what's up, dude? He said, I'm over this vision shit. Bronze Bronze Baker. I don't know if that was an auto type or auto correction or whatever, but that's so fitting. If not, props to you. That's a great pun. But Bronze Breaker needs to branch out on his own and hunt down that world title. And then he says Sunday night he feels needed now more than ever. Such a great place to showcase NXT. Oh yeah, NXT stars or mid card stars, sell the PPV, etc. would be a great place for backstage. Exactly, dude. Exactly. I'm right there with you. And then you know you mentioned the NXT stars, which we'll discuss when we get to the Cena part. But yeah, that's what I was saying about Breaker too. It's gonna be really vital what they do with him after this feud with Rollins, and that's why I don't really want it to be like they're trading wins back and forth or anything like that. So I don't know, man. It's gonna be very key, especially when you have big guys like Oba and Trick who are getting over. You know what I mean? What up, Grandmaster? What up, dude? But yeah, speaking of Trick Williams, we had Trick defending the U.S. Championship against Sami Zayn. This match, it was pretty good match. And this was the second of the two matches that aired on the free portion. Trick did retain the title. Looks like it was just shy of 13 minutes. Lil Yachty did have a good amount of spots here in the match. Not obviously in the match, but via ringside for Trick. And he took a haluva kick to the back. It was just one of those like it's like you never turn your back on your enemy, dude. Like when I saw him facing the crowd, I was like, 101, bro. Do not turn your back. And he paid for it. But and then earlier in the match at one point he took, I forget how many it was, like 5 or 6 kendo stick shots from Sammy. So yeah, he definitely took his lickings there last night. But him and Trick Williams were on the little after show thing as well. Pretty typical what you would expect from Trick. It's still cool to see him though, because he's just a star, dude. Like I hate the word aura now because it's so overused, but he just radiates just like that star power, dude. Like there's just something about him. And Lil Yachty, to his credit, man, like he puts Trick over every chance he gets. He tries to really add to the flashy part of Trick's act, you know, like throwing the ones everywhere and shit like that. He did that as well during the after show. So I give him props, man. Again, I am not, you guys know, one to advocate for celebrities being involved, but at least he is knowing his role. He hasn't been involved in a match yet. um, but yeah, I don't know. Like, you just gotta be careful, right? You just gotta teeter that line. And so far they are, but still, I mean, if I had my choice, I would just have Trick be his own man. But and maybe have Yachty appear for like bigger shows. Have him appear at Backlash, for instance, but not weekly with him. But yeah, could be a lot worse, right? But yeah, so I'm at least happy they had Trick retain. I did hear some people in the camp that maybe Sammy should regain the championship here, but I was of the thought of like, if you are gonna put it right back on Sammy, then why did you take it off of him at Mania? You should have just had it be a 4-way match, someone else take the loss, and then Trick and Sammy feud from there. So I wasn't really a fan of Trick losing here, and I'm happy that he didn't. So yeah, right call there in my opinion. But after this, I believe is when we had Danhausen and the mystery partner facing off against the Miz and Kit Wilson. Of course, the big speculation was who the mystery partner is. We yesterday speculated on it here. A lot of people talked about it throughout the week. I don't know. Someone may have called it out there, but I don't know if anyone would have pegged or did peg who it ended up being. And if they did, shit, props to them. And I want to go with them to buy lottery tickets and shit because I didn't cross my mind. And maybe I should have. Maybe I should have, but I was thinking completely elsewhere. I was thinking it was going to be Punk, even though I said it would not be ideal to bring Punk back in that way. At least have that be his first appearance back after Mania, losing to Roman, especially losing the heavyweight championship to Roman in the main event at WrestleMania, to have him come back for the first time being in a comedy match with Danhausen, The Miz, and Kit Wilson. Not saying he's above it or anything like that, or that it wouldn't even be mildly entertaining, but to me, that's just not something you want to do right off the bat. So I'm glad that that was not the case. So we did obviously end up getting the reveal. We had a big crate because Danhausen loves crates. And on the outside of the crate, it said cloning machine. And I was like, huh, all right, well, okay. But what can this be? But again, I still wasn't thinking it was going to be what it ended up being. I thought it was going to be whomever, just with the like in the Danhausen getup, right? The face paint, the cape and all that shit. So now I was even like, I'm like just like racking my brain, like who the fuck is it gonna be? And the crate opens and it's a little mini Danhausen. A mini Danhausen emerges from the crate. Joins Danhausen in Dan's little car. I know Danhausen's his real last name, right? I don't know why I won't call him Dan. But in Danhausen's car, and they drove a little bit to the ways to the ring, but a little person ended up being a little mini Danhausen. I so I'm gonna stop right there first. So when I saw that, I was like, my immediate response, I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys, my immediate response was like, what the fuck? Like we really invested this much. I mean, not granted, it hasn't been like months or anything crazy, not to be dramatic, but we really invested time pondering who it was gonna be. Like the betting odds were Cena, or not, Jesus Lord, not Cena, Punk, Jelly Roll, Mr. Iguana was one of them, and we get Minihausen, and I'm just like, what the fuck are we doing? And maybe a couple minutes goes by, and I'm just like, what did I shouldn't have, like, what did I really expect with Danhausen? You know what I mean? Like, I guess we all were expecting Punk, but like I said, like I was expecting Punk, but I didn't necessarily want it to be Punk. So when it wasn't someone of that stature, I was like, okay. And then it wasn't. I don't know. It obviously was a wrestler, right? So no, no disrespect there. It just wasn't what I was imagining. Okay, so again, a couple minutes after, and where we go, like the match starts after the introductions and all that shit. And I'm just like, all right, dude, like Minninghausen is doing his thing, it's and oddly enough, like he wrestled the majority of the match for his team, which is just so fucking hilarious to me too. Um like Danhausen ends up, maybe obviously ends up being the one getting the hot tag, but it's just so comical to me that Minninghausen carries the match essentially for his team. So props to him. But as the match goes on, dude, I'm like, all right, it is what it is. It's I don't really know what I expected, right? And again, like if it was Punk in the face paint, right, or whomever, right, like an actual, again, I don't want to say like an actual wrestler because Minninghausen is an actual wrestler, but I don't know, like it still would have been comedy because the Miz and Kit Wilson is involved, and like obviously Danhausen, right? So as the match is, progressing, I'm just like, all right, it is what it is. And not gonna lie, the match kind of won me over as it progressed. So I'm not going to justify the people who paid $30 for it or however much they ended up paying for their in-person tickets. Because again, like I said earlier at the beginning of the stream, it truly depends on how you feel about this type of shit in wrestling, right? If you're in the camp of, I mean, it is what it is, it can be like mildly entertaining, like I said, okay, whatever. And as long as it doesn't bleed into more serious aspects of the card, like the main event, and take away from stuff like that, then whatever. And like I've said in the past, I am in the camp of you do need a little bit of like comedic relief of that nature during the show. Now, I am concerned that they will overdo it with Danhausen because he has been such a hit so fast. Um, so part of me is kind of hoping that they pick a show for him, first of all, and they They limit him to maybe 2 segments during the show. Maybe, honestly, I don't even know how many he's on right now. Maybe it is only like 2 or 3, but I don't know, just limit him a little bit more to make it that much more special, right? It's kind of crazy too to think that he's already had 3 matches because did he even have 1 match in AEW? I don't think so. So yeah, it's just it is what it is, you know what I mean? And that's what I was saying, or that's what I was gonna get to. Though, but on the flip side, if you hate that shit in wrestling and you think it has no business being in wrestling and wrestling should be serious, this, that, and a third, then I can totally see why you would hate this and why you would be throwing your remote and shit like that, or canceling your subscription, depending on how enraged you got. So I hate to be that person, but I can totally see why both sides would kind of feel how they feel. Again, I am not going to sit here and advocate for it. I get it, but I don't want this to be a constant going forward. On each PLE, he has a full match segment, right? Nothing against him, but PLEs should be held for something a bit more serious. If you want to do like a backstage segment, like we were talking about earlier, with him involved, or even just a segment with him involved during the PLE, like a transition, cool. but maybe not a full match consistently going forward. But even with that, I'd still be careful because to me, like, I feel like Danhausen can be one of those characters where he is people just get tired of him kind of quickly. So yeah, and again, like I give him a lot of props and a lot of respect, dude. Like he made a character where he first of all doesn't even have to really wrestle. And it's so obnoxious that it got insanely over. He was thriving on the independents for years, right? Obviously made it to AEW, and I think he got injured. Didn't he end up like injuring his knee, maybe tearing an ACL or some shit? I think something like that. Which, again, to be fair, that's probably why. Not even probably, but if I'm remembering correctly, that would be why he didn't wrestle, if at all. Why he wouldn't have wrestled much in AEW, but the dude just found a way to get over. So props to him. And I never really knew much about his character. Like I didn't really know like the teeth, for instance, or just like what is he, you know? But he's just different, dude. And like he's just in like a weird thing that I found myself doing last night was just like staring at his tattoos. Like his tattoos are just so like outrageous and just so random too. And that's like I love that shit. I love when people like side note, I love when people have like the most random tattoos that you would just never guess, right? Because I'm that person and I try not to be because I know especially nowadays, like if you see someone staring at someone, people are like, what the fuck? Like there's a lot of weirdos out there and I don't want to look like one even more so. So but I am that person, dude. Like I will stare at someone's sleeve or like whatever. Like I will like tattoo wise, like I will just like stare at it and just like try to figure out the story and like like the thoughts behind it, or like the thoughts that inspired if it is a sleeve, like the whole like process of like that theme, if it is a theme or if it's just like a whole bunch of random different tattoos thrown together. Just I don't know. I'm that person, right? But yeah, man, so very long story short, I ended up being kind of irritated when Minihausen first came out because I think my irritation with that was more so just with WWE as a whole, because I'm just like, come on, man, like I'm just tired of shit not being taken seriously. Just that feeling, just the feeling that like creative kind of just like phones it in, or just like I don't know, man. Like you get paid millions of dollars, your people are getting bonuses. Like fucking put thought into shit. So again, as the match continued, I was like, all right, I get it, So yeah, I don't know if that makes it better or worse, but yeah. And again, to be fair, I do love when he's trying to make his dramatic exit, right? And like the lights go off and like they just never know what direction to go. Just like little shit like that. It cracks me up. And that's why, like, to me, you have to know what Danhausen is, and you can't be expecting like a 5-star classic out of him. And if you are, then that's kind of your fault. It's like the people like Chicago, prime example. We all built up the expectation that it was going to be Jericho debuting, and it was Danhausen, and the people in Chicago just shitted on him. And again, I get being disappointed, but you're just disappointed because you were wrong, and you were wanting something else, and you were expecting something else, and that's not what happened. So, and really, they did nothing to make you. They did nothing like a bait and switch, right? So, and you guys know me, like I will talk shit against 30 if I need to, or whatever if I need to, but you gotta be fair. And you gotta give credit where credit is due, and you gotta be fair. So that's just kind of how I see it, man. Oh, but I would be remiss if I did not mention the mirror spot in the match, because say what you want about the match, but that shit was clever. You know what I mean? You gotta think if you are in a mythical world and someone is cursing you, what is one thing that you can do to protect yourself? And that's to block it. What's a better way to do it is to repel it. A shield is one thing, right? But if you can repel that motherfucker back to the person who is trying to curse you or put a spell on you or whatever, fucking reverse that shit on them. So I do have to give credit where credit is due. And Kit Wilson, man, he so when he first came out with the mirror, I was like, oh, that's actually makes like total sense for his character. And I thought it'd be cool if like when he came out, he would like show it to the fans and like have them look at themselves, you know, whatever, as he walks down to the ring. But it ended up being for a spot in the match, and I was like, oh, that's actually pretty clever. So props to him. Props to him. But then we got to the point of the show where I think it was the match of the night. Pretty certain I said it was probably going to be the match of the night, which I'm sure everyone did going into it. I'm not even going to try to go over the match in particular. Please go on and see it. It was, of course, Io Sky and Asuka. I think it was just shy of like 20 minutes or whatever. Of course, everyone's talking about the end of the match, right? So we'll just kind of fast forward to that. It was just a very good, like, I hate that's like downplaying it, but it was just such a very solid wrestling match, dude. Like, it was just so refreshing to see just like two of them go out there and just fucking kill it, man, and just not have any bullshit. Like, I mean, of course we had the story building into it with Asuka, Kairi. You know, Kairi, man, from the jump, they were just, the fans were just making WWE hear it, right? That they wanted Kairi, but I didn't have my hopes high that she was going to be returning here. And good for her. Good for her. I don't know, obviously, if they asked her to or whatever, but I wouldn't either. Dude, if you cut me and then you want me to come back like a week later, 2 weeks-ish later, whatever, to like help you make your, like, get a feel-good moment for yourself, like, no, fuck off with that. So, and what, I don't know if she denied them or it just was never an option, but whatever. You know, obviously I would have loved to have her there, but I would have loved to have her still in a contract, you know? So it is what it is in that regard. But the match itself, man, it was just so amazing. And talking about the mirror spot from earlier, I don't think, well, I'll speak for myself. I've never seen, and again, so simple, but just so like awesome. Because of course, you know, the mist and Io was just hit with the blue mist. I believe it was this past Monday on the sit down show, the sit down segment that they had backstage between the two of them, and Asuka hit Io with the blue mist. This time, Io was ready for it and picked up, I believe it was Wade Barrett's notepad, it was like a leather notepad that he has, and blocked it as Asuka was spraying her with it. So just fucking brilliant, dude. Again, little shit like that, but it's fucking brilliant. And it just ended up being one of those moments in the match where I was just like, yo, like, that's just so dope. Like, I don't know why I enjoyed it so much, and maybe it was just like, maybe I'm overhyping it, but it was just so cool to see. Like, just something so simple. Yeah, and again, like, maybe it has been done before, but I'm just like, dude, why has no one ever thought of that before? And obviously, like, again, like, you have to be close to the desk, the commentator's booth, to have something to shield yourself. But I don't know, it was just so smart. So props to Io for that. But of course, right as the match ended, Io Sky bowed to Asuka. Asuka immediately, dude, just, you could see it in her face, man. Just started looking emotional. Asuka hugged Io Sky and started just giving her just tons of kisses on the cheeks. At one point, she like tried to like jump up on her and like wrap her leg around her, like blew her kisses and stuff. It was just like very emotional, very emotional. And dude, like, it's like, man, all right, like, are we about to lose Asuka now too? So I understand why some people would be like, oh, like, like they were literally just going back and forth for months. Like Asuka was this piece of shit, abusive person, whatever to Kyrie, not being fair to Io, all this stuff. And now they end up with Asuka being so emotional. Like they're, like I get that, but in this situation, dude, it's different. It's just different. I think, especially there's, I think a couple reports coming out that she is not retiring, but it's like a semi-retirement. I don't really know what that is. Maybe going like part-time, or maybe she's gonna do like a behind the scenes role or a trainer. I don't know, but it's just a bummer to think that we're gonna be losing Asuka, man. And I'm just happy we at least got that match, because they could have very easily done some fuck shit and found a way to not let us have this match. But I'm happy we at least got it. And yeah, man, I did. I ended up going on Duty Shop and buying Asuka's shirt. She had a shirt with Kyrie Sane. It was actually on sale. It was like shit on sale for like $9. Of course, with shipping ended up being like 19.98 or whatever. But it was a really cool shirt. So I wanted to grab one before she does end up retiring and they drain all her merch out. And I wanted to get one that still had Kyrie involved. So if you are looking for some of that shit, I would check that out now, because it was like low quantity or whatever. But yeah. Next we had need to get a little bit of a drink before that. And let me dive into your comments here, and then we'll get into the scene of it all. Oh man, but and of course, guys, thank you so much for watching along. I appreciate you all for watching live. Feel free to like, subscribe, all that shit. Appreciate you. Yeah, I was just fixing my phone. But yeah, I appreciate all you guys. If you're watching live, if you're watching a replay, appreciate you. But yeah, I'm gonna dive into your comments here. Hold on a sec. What, Grandmaster? You said Trick has an aura but no charisma? Well, I mean, I gotta disagree with you on that, my friend. Respectfully disagree with you on that. Like, why do you think that though? I think he has just like a certain like presence and like just like a certain swag to him. Like it just comes like natural to him for me. And like, of course, he like amplifies it for his character. But dude, like, I feel like he's one of those guys that if you just like saw him like in a random store or in like, a parking lot or some shit, like he would kind of feel that vibe. I could be wrong, but I don't know. Fernando, what up, Fernando? What up, dude? He said, "Thank God Punk was not part of this. He is a million times above this garbage." Tiki didn't like that match, my friend. What up, sick boy? You said Minnie is an accomplished mini luchador. Yeah, who the fuck? Yeah, I meant to look up who. Come on. Oh yeah, so it was former WWE superstar El Torito. Oh, what's his other name though? Mascarita Dorado. Okay. Yeah, okay. So again, like obviously the dude is credible, and that's not the point. It was kind of frustrating at first, but then just kind of comical that we all sat here and just put all this thought into it. Like, oh, is it Punk? Is it Jelly Roll? All this shit, and then it ended up being little mini houses. So it's just kind of funny. What up, Mackenzie? What up? What up, dude? Oh, funny. Rude dog. What up? What up, dude? Oh shit! You said you canceled your subscription to ESPN Unlimited immediately after Backlash. What specifically? Was it the Danhausen part? Was it the Cena part? Like what was the final straw for you, dude? And what is your thumbnail pic, bro? John Cena, burger, and taco night? What is that? What is that, Rude Dog? It's good to see you in here, bro. Oh, that's funny. But yeah, what was the final straw for you, dude? Yeah, Sick Boy, you said Danhausen actually had t-shirts in Hot Topic years ago. He knows how to market himself, and I think they're listening to him, so he'll probably know when to back it off a bit, hopefully. Yeah, that's a good point. But I mean, he may know and he may be cognizant of that point, but will WWE care? Because all they see are the dollar signs coming in, and they just don't care. Oh yeah, Fernando, trust me, I know. You said ask Google Doink the Clown and the mini doinks that survivors. Oh dude, I don't need to hire it. Trust me, I've seen it. I have seen it. That's why it doesn't bother me that much. It's like we've been there, done that. And that's why when people are like, oh, like what is this? Like, like shitting on it and saying like Vince has gotta be back. I mean, maybe, yeah, but I mean, do y'all not remember when like the newer version of DX and like when it was just Shawn Michaels and Triple H, like in the what year was that? Like in like when what was it, 2010? Like I forget the exact years, but you guys know when. And I have to pull it up now. Okay, yeah. So in 2006 and 2009. So around that time frame, like they were doing like absurd shit. They had little minis, like little people come out there like all the time. So Triple H loves this shit too. So yeah, I get, Vince has a pretty crappy track record and he, has done just wild shit, but Triple H is not that far off either when it comes to that type of like what they view as entertainment. So would I be shocked to hear Vince has any input or has been providing like little input? No, I wouldn't be shocked. I would feel some type of way, but I wouldn't be shocked. But I also wouldn't be shocked to know that this is just straight coming from like creative, W creative, like Triple H and just like Bruce Pritchard and like, that gang. So I'm, like it is what it is. But Doink the Clown and shit like that is why I'm not like, oh my god, what are they doing? I was just like really like I invested all that thought power into like who's it gonna be, and it was a little mini housing. Which again, no disrespect, but it was just not what I was expecting. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But yeah. Moving on though, we do have the John Cena segment. I am gonna pull up the notes here. And I really want to know what you guys think. Really, really, really want to know. Again, if you're just now popping in, watching live, I do have a poll going on in the YouTube or on the YouTube channel. So feel free to throw your vote in there. I am going to pull it up really quick and get a. Hold on, let me make sure this is going to double play. Okay, yeah. All right, get the results put up there. So once we go over the Cena portion, I'll see what you guys have to think, but then obviously definitely throw in the chats. I was gonna say verbally, but what you guys, verbiage, I guess, have to say about it besides just a vote. But of course, we had Cena's music hit. It's kind of odd to me that they still do the black screen with the white Cena words. I don't know. I don't know why they're still doing that, but whatever. He comes out in a very nice suit, very Vince McMahon esque, which is just weird to me. And I mean, obviously it's just a suit, right? I mean, he's gonna wear a fucking suit, but just the appearance, the suit, like how built he is, especially when he's in the ring, like just certain mannerisms, certain verbiage that he says. It's just I don't know, man. Just weird, oddly close to me. But anywho, he, of course, again, like I said, his music hits. He talks to Stu. He doesn't necessarily run to the ring. He kind of jogs a bit, but then he, walks a little bit more. And he Where'd he go? He comes out doing his usual joking with the cameraman, blah, blah, blah. Cena spoke about what his next WWE role would be after losing his final match. The fans chanted for one more match. Cena said he was expecting that, and then just said that he was happy with his final match. That got some boos from the audience. And his reactor was like, And he was like, I've seen that, essentially, I've heard that, but, it was special to him, whatever. And he said it was special to him because of the platform that it allowed, essentially, for other talent. And then he recalled Sol Ruka, Javon Evans, Oba Femi wrestling on the retirement show. Big fan of Oba. He is. He did the Oba strut. Said that Oba kicked Lesnar's ass at WrestleMania. And he said it was so good that they should do it again. That type of show itself. So he announces the John Cena Classic. He said it will feature WWE and NXT wrestlers on a brand new event with a brand new championship, because that's what we've been craving. Cena said it's not just any championship, though. He said he's putting his name on it. So, I mean, that's a boom. He said the WWE Universe are the biggest superstars in WWE, so we, of course, are going to have a huge part in that. And that's why the foundation has been shook, because we have the power in this, guys. We do. So he said the voice of the fans would be heard louder than ever before. He said we, the fans, would vote to crown the champion of the John Cena Classic. So here's a little bit of details. We don't have all the specifics yet, but we do have a little bit, which is a great sign going forward. So Cena said every wrestler would qualify for the voting. He said a wrestler could lose the match, but their hustle and heart could still lead them to be crowned the John Cena Classic champion. So you can still lose, but still win the championship. So I'll get to my thoughts in a second. He promised to give the fans everything he has in regards to the event, promoting it. I'm assuming he's going to be there, because that'd be kind of wild if he's not even at the inaugural John Cena Classic. He said he doesn't want this to be a one-year event. He wants it to go on for years to come. I think he even said like 10, 20, 30 years or some shit. So, okay. Cena thanked Oba Femi for busting his ass at his retirement show to make the idea a reality. He thanked WWE for allowing him to do this crazy idea. He said he hopes it works. He thanked the city of Tampa or Tampa Bay for allowing him to be there. He told the fans that he would see them. Okay, so he will be there at the John Cena Classic, and then said it was time for the main event. So, to be fair, there's going to be a few different points, a few different sides. So, overall, I think it could be a really cool concept. I think it is a good sign they're trying to focus more on the future of the business, right? The younger talent, give them a spotlight to shine where most people, like your average fan who isn't watching NXT, they would not see them until they are officially brought up to the main roster. So you do have that opportunity. Okay, I feel like there's going to be more cons, right? But on the flip side of that, to me, I more so like the vibe and like to me, it's the first impression thing, right? You only get one time to make the first impression, right? So I kind of feel like we will be eliminating that first appearance shock and impact to the main roster. Maybe that has kind of died down some anyway in the past couple years, but to me, it still can mean something if you make a big debut on a Raw or a SmackDown. You build up hype packages and things like that, to where, yes, if someone hasn't seen a Ricky Saints, for instance, the way you build them up, you could build the hype for it. And again, I know it's not going to work for everyone. There are different scenarios for different talent. I get that, but I don't know. To me, I kind of feel like I don't know. There's something to be said about that first time, right? But I don't know, man. Again, it is just one match, but I don't know. I that's my immediate thoughts on that. So we'll see. I guess we'll see. But don't, I absolutely do not like the whole, oh, if you lose, you can still be voted to become the champion. Like, what the fuck purpose is that then? Like, why even wrestle for an actual winner or loser if my vote is going to be who determines the champion? Like what? Like that's so dumb to me. Like I just don't understand that logic. So to me, it would make a little bit more sense if you are having more of like an exhibition type of match, almost like a boxing match or some shit where it has to like you go like a certain amount of not rounds obviously but a certain amount of time, and the whole purpose is to not necessarily pin your opponent, which is just fucking odd to me, but to gain more, I guess, which I hate because then it just taints the whole outlook on wrestling in my opinion. But like the more high spots, right, like the more like I don't know, like I don't even know what you'll call it, but like not kudos but more like I don't know, like more like excitement points, like more shit like that for the like with the fans, like you know how like your baby face who goes out there and does the flips and stuff like that, like they become more popular than other talent, right? Maybe you can do something like that, and that's why the fans have to then vote on the winner of the match. Whereas if Rey Mysterio, for instance, loses the match but still gets voted the favorite, like what the point? What was the point in the match? You know, like yeah, okay, he I guess went out there and had a great match with whomever from NXT, but it just really feels like you're just defeating the whole purpose of winning a match if I'm gonna go out there and vote on my phone who I think should win, because it's just a popularity contest at that point. Like who, it just I don't know, it's just really odd to me. So that was a big miss, big miss. And I hope this is not going to be a championship that's regularly defended, because I don't even know what that would look like. First of all, I hope it's more of a like a Owen Hart Cup type of thing they do in AEW, where you get like the like an actual championship, and at one point you got like a cup as well. But it's just like a yearly event. Like IC said, he wants it to be to go on for years to come. So you could do something like that, but definitely don't want it to be something that is defended. So I just I don't know. Let's hope, right? um, so yeah, so I don't know. I'm just kind of iffy on that. And it just really feels like we're just like giving participation trophies out. And I can't stand that shit. You either win or you lose. Point blank. Like, yeah, you can put up a good fight and put up a good showing in the L that you take, but you still lose. You don't deserve a trophy, like a medal or anything like that. Like you lost. You know, like you get the trophy, you get the medal with the championship, whatever it is, when you win. So because that's what should drive you and push you to actually win. You know, to get whatever it is, the title, the trophy, whatever it is, you know what I mean? So I just don't like that vibe. And it's kind of like a weird like clash of like Taboo Tuesday and like Cyber Sunday. You guys remember that from back in the day? uh Granted, we didn't choose the winner, we just chose like the match stipulation or like certain opponents, but I don't know, man. And to me, it's going to be a given, right? Like if you have, let's say you have like I don't know, like a Rusev in there versus Penta. You know, people are going to vote for Penta. Like it's obvious. Like what are we even doing? So I don't know, man. I hope that they tweak it because he did not announce a like an event date. We don't know if it's going to be like a PLE, if it's going to be like a Saturday night's main event, like he's going to like take over one of those shows, or something like that. So I guess we'll wait and see in that regard. But dude, I don't like the main points coming out of it already. So not to be Debbie Downer, but I don't know if it's I don't have a good feeling about it. I just feel like they take a little seed of what could be a good idea and just fucking just take it overboard. And it's like, bro, like you're doing way too much, man. Less is more. So I don't know. But those are my thoughts on it. Let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna pull up the poll results here. All right, but yeah. So 15% said our foundation was in fact shook. 62% said not it, and 23% as of right now say to let it play out. So yeah, kind of where I thought we would be. um, yeah, man, and like the overhyping of it all too. Like, just fucking relax, bro. You know, it's like I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, Lord Dogtown, it really does age us, right? It really does make us feel our age. Yeah, and yeah, it is kind of like the male version of the Mae Young Classic, kind of, kind of. But yeah, so moving on to the main event, and then we will be wrapping it up here, guys. Of course, we had Roman Reigns, our world heavyweight champion, defending against his family member Jacob Fatu. I really enjoyed this match, dude. I'm not gonna lie, like they really. I guess I didn't didn't I don't know. My expectations were a little bit lower. Not that I even felt like that going into it, but I guess they were a little bit lower than what ended up happening after the match. Like I was like, I don't know if pleasantly surprised is the right word, because I obviously knew what Reigns can do, and you know, we've seen Jacob do his thing. So I don't know. Like I think I was just more, I was, I guess, fearful of like potential like interference and just more bullshit, right? I just think it's so funny that there's never any like there's it's always like a no DQ match for Roman, always like a no count out. Like there's essentially no rules. Um but I loved the physicality in the match. I loved how Roman sold for Jacob, right? Roman's facial expressions are, and again, it's one of those things that I was mentioning earlier that is just so simple. I don't know why more wrestlers don't do it. Like put over the moves more with your face. Like I don't know, man. Like just less is more. So Roman has pretty well mastered that aspect of it. Um Fans were obviously more so behind him, but to be fair, Jacob did get his fair share throughout the match. Ended up being, you know, back and forth a little bit, but obviously more so in the pocket of Reigns. But the ending of the match, dude, and that's what I was saying. Like it's just kind of, I guess, comical to me at this point. But Reigns grabbed the turnbuckle pad off of the top turnbuckle, and the referee just like saw the whole thing, ended up, you know, throwing Jacob into it, hit Jacob's head on the turnbuckle, and ended up pinning him shortly thereafter. I think he hit a spear, or was it the Superman punch that sealed the fate? Speared him, yeah. So Reigns ran Fatu's head into the exposed turnbuckle, speared him, yeah, and then pinned him. So I was just like, man, like, I mean, the referee was just like right there, dude. And I'm just like, and maybe it was just like a bad camera angle. And I was just like, man, like, at least pretend like you're not staring at him, right? So I don't know, man. It is, I guess, what it is, where it's just the norm at this point. But I don't know. I think Jacob really went out there and proved to probably a lot of people behind the scenes that he can be that guy, especially for a world heavyweight championship, like on Raw. It's an advantage of having two separate titles. So hopefully they do pull the trigger eventually, maybe within the next year. But again, like he's one of those two. Like it's it's just like an interesting, crowded upper card field that they're building, and it's obviously a good thing, right? But I'm really going to be intrigued to see how and who they elevate first going forward. But obviously we'll get to that the further we get down the road. But then of course I don't know if maybe the you know the story of coming out of this, but definitely one of the main points coming out of the whole main event segment was the beatdown afterwards that Jacob gave to Roman. Of course, the Tongan Death Grip was the story throughout the match as well. And he just would not he just would not give up on Reigns, dude. He just went back, I think, like 2 or 3 times after the match and applied it to Roman. Of course, you know, your Adam Pearce, Jordan. Oh my god. Why am I blanking on his name? Jason Jordan, backstage agent. Shane Helms was out there, you know, like the usual suspects, right? Going out there and breaking it up. But I really dig, and I was expecting like the Usos to come out or something and to help out Roman, but I really dig that they just put over Jacob being just this destructive monster, dude, and just this psycho almost that, yeah, like this is what Roman warned us of. And I loved that. I think they showed it during the like after show or whatever. Roman, as he was making his way to the back, I don't know if it was Jackie, like, was it Jackie Redmond or I'm blanking on the other girl's name. Sorry. But one of them was trying to get some comments from Roman when he was making his way to the back. And he was like, essentially, he said something like, "This is why I told WWE not to bring him in here, not to bring Jacob in." And I just love that. Like, just something so simple adds so much to Jacob's character and just the destructiveness that is Jacob. You know what I mean? And that he can do and that he is willing to do to gain the championship. So I hope they focus more on him just wanting to be the champion, period, and not more so on the like private jets and the money and all that stuff. I really think they have something with just going after not necessarily like a psychopath, but just like this unhinged werewolf, you know, like that they, you know, Samoan werewolf that they call him. So I don't know. I just really dug the whole main event segment. I wish they would just make it a no DQ or just do something about like the same shit that happens in Roman's matches. Maybe I just need to get used to it, years into it at this point, but it still bugs me, especially during the Punk match at Mania, dude. Like, I don't know. It's just like, okay, so hitting people with the steel steps is just fine. So I don't know. I digress. But yeah, guys, I think there were reports out there that Roman was going to be taking some time off or something, and you would think that a beatdown like that would write him off. But I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be the case because he did walk out. Oh, Kathy Kelly. Yeah, duh. Thank you, Dogtown. Because he did, you know, kind of help himself to the back. But I don't know. We will see. Because again, like it's pretty obvious, right, that they're going to run it back with Jacob. I just don't know if they're going to pull the trigger on him beating Roman. I don't know if I would even necessarily agree with that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what they do kind of playing out going from here into whenever they do the rematch. If it's going to be I don't see it being at Saturday night's main event. Probably if anything, probably at Clash in Italy. Because I don't think Roman is going to be at the Saudi show. And I think that's the next one after all this. So we shall see. But thank you, guys. I appreciate all of you, like I said, for popping in. You guys are fantastic. I love you all out there. Dogtown, you said, man, I would have bet money Fatu was walking out with the gold. What with all the rumors of Roman? Yeah, I'm not going to be around in June and needing an explanation on why they rushed. And yeah, again, dude, yeah. I was, you know, I could have seen that as well. I wasn't too like, oh, they're going to take the title off of him now because of those reports. It wouldn't have shocked me, right, if that's what happened. But I just didn't feel it yet. So, and that's why I'm like, are they going to, that's why I feel like SummerSlam is going to be it, though. It's just a matter of against who. But yeah, guys, I appreciate you all so much again for popping in. If you're watching live or on replay, like, subscribe, all that shit, you guys know what to do. I thank you all for spending part of your Sunday afternoon here or whenever if you're watching at a later time. Until next time, guys, stay safe out there and enjoy some wrestling. Take care.